So hello everyone. This is the fourth time I'm gonna play the Stanley Parable. It's a bit later tonight, but I want to test something because I have managed to hook up a second screen on my laptop. So now I'll be able to see the chat. If anyone would be chatting, I could see it. But it's just plain awesome. Even if nobody's chatting, it's just awesome to have two screens. So let's begin the game and see if I can find another ending. Skip this because I've already done this. Okay, let's do this.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I don't think it's as simple as missing a memo. Doom, doom, doom.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh, did I? Yeah, I do, because I've been through this one 2 times already, and I think I have all the possible endings on this side. So let's see what endings there are on this side.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
So let's see. I've read all of this last time already, so there's no use in you reading it again. If you want to read it, if you want me looking around this room, just look at the first playthrough I did. Wait, what? Now I can't get into. Okay, now I can. I still can't get in. Can get in the broom closet. Huh. This is somewhat different than last time. Last time he said something.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Yeah, okay. I'm not gonna have this whole conversation with him again. So I'll just get back on track.
Coming to a staircase,
Ooh.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Guess this is the first split. So let's go downstairs. Didn't do this before, so this might be another alternate ending. Looks a bit creepy. Is this a button? Nah, not a button. Fire hose.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all.
Maybe he is
thought
still
to himself,
crazy.
I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Wait, what?
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he
Voiceception.
thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I
Not a
want
creepy
is my
wife,
life
please.
exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Nope, still nothing. Nothing happened.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
What the hell?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
What the fuck? I really have no words for this. I have no idea what just happened. It. No, I just I can't wrap my head around it. This was just. It's too late for this kind of shit. But okay, never mind that. I'm just gonna see. I'm gonna try this again and see if something happens if I keep walking instead of standing around in a room. Just give me a sec. Just gonna do something real quick. Okay. And then, Okay, so let's try this again. We're gonna see. Yeah, we're gonna try this particular
Even now,
and
Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall.
Maybe this isn't an ending yet. This wasn't an
No
ending.
matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't
okay,
find a
never mind.
trace of his co-workers.
This is a new beginning. But let's try this again. I want to see what happens.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So I did.
Yet
And
there
I'm
was not a
walking.
single person here either.
We know.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping coming to a staircase, Stanley
Nope.
walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Going down. And let's keep going.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed
Keep
everyone
going.
had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself,
Oh
maybe
no,
I am
really?
crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any
So
logical sense.
if you keep going,
And as Stanley pondered
while
this, he began
he
to make
tells his
other
story,
strange observations. For example,
it just.
why couldn't he
oh
see
my
his
god.
feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the
really
conclusion
do that.
that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm dreaming! he
So
yelled.
let's quit this.
This is all a dream.
This was. So this is just gonna
What
be
a
an ending and
relief
repeat
Stanley
again.
felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation.
So let's just
His co-workers weren't actually gone.
start over again. Let's begin the game again. And quit here.